Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is your girl, the Jackie Jackson. Yep, you know who it is, Tax D Genius. I'm so excited to be with you all this morning on this fabulous Tax D Tuesdays. Okay, so today's topic is what to do, right? What to do after the sale. Because guess what? I know that each of you have been following me, and by now you are dibble dabbling, you're researching, you're doing big things, you are in and out of the public records, you're on these websites, you're on the county websites, and you're finding out information. Now, let's talk about what to do after you've won your tax deed auction. What to do after you've won your tax deed auction. So that's our topic of today. So let's talk about tax deeds just in general, right? So here is an actual deed. I pulled up an actual deed, all right? So what you guys are looking at is an actual deed, okay? It was sold on July 16th, 2020. It was sold July 16th, 2020. I don't know if y'all know dates, but that was just like yesterday, okay? That was just like last week. And it's in Polk County. How cool. So this is how fast. A lot of times my students are always asking me, Jackie, how soon will I get the deed? How soon do I get the deed? Well, you know what? It depends. Some counties are faster than others, but normally the deed is generated the day of the sale, right? And it's the clerk does a really, really good job of recording the deed expeditiously. As you can see here, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger just so that you guys can see it. The deed was recorded the day of the sale. As a matter of fact, that afternoon, all right? So the deed was recorded in official records. Here's a book and page number, the amount that the highest bidder paid, and the doc stamps and all of that cool stuff. So July 16, 2020 at 4:08 p.m. is when the tax deed was recorded, and the auction took place like that morning. Does that make sense? So in this county, it actually happened the same day. So this is Polk County, Florida, and this is what the actual tax deed looks like. All right, so this is the actual image of the deed. Now, remember, I shared with you a few videos ago that when you purchase a tax deed, yes, you do get the right to immediate possession in the state of Florida. And yes, you do get ownership. Like, this is a deed that transferred ownership to you. Totally yours, 100%. The land or the property that was described right here in like the legal description, this is your land. This is it. This is yours. No backseas. We're done. You paid. That's it. This property, the opening bid has started at like about $4,050 is what it was, $4,050, something like that. And competitively, it got bidded up. And the final bid, the actual investor that won, they won at $23,500. This investor won at $23,500. And I know you're like, wow, Jackie, from $4,000 all the way to $23,500. Well, let's see what happened, okay? Because you got to put things into what? Perspective. You got to put things into perspective, right? How much equity did they have? You know, was there any liens? All that good stuff. All of these questions have to be answered in order for us to decide good deal, bad deal. Fair enough? All right, cool. So what I did is I went to realtor.com and cross-referenced the address of this property, because guess what? On the deed, it didn't show the address. You know what it showed? It showed the legal description, so, and the parcel ID. So you got to do some cross-referencing to get the street address. Well, I got the street address of the property, and this is the actual property that was sold on July, all right? July 16th, July, something like that. Anyway, I'm so excited because I'm happy for this investor. OMG. All right, so the address of this property, it's a vacant residential land. It's about 0.79 acre lot. And look at this. So 4221 Bomber Road in Bartow, Florida, which is Polk County, OMG. Realtor.com estimated this land for $123,400. What? What are you saying? Oh my gosh. Like, dude, this property was bought for $23,500. Whoever bought this instantly gained access to equity of $100,000, like immediately over freaking night. Oh my God. Can you guys see why I love, and I say love, and I mean love, 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 love. This strategy, it's redonkulous, okay? All you need is some patience. You need somebody to show you what to do. You just need someone to help you through this process so that you can know what you don't know. Watch out for those blind spots so you don't get hit, right? So you can invest safely with the lowest risk possible. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for whoever bought this property. Good for them. Good for them. Oh my gosh. Seriously, talk about a come up. Yes, come right up. So, the biggest question is, well, how many properties do you really need? How many properties are you trying to acquire? What is your net worth goals? Like this investor literally added $100,000 to their net worth like overnight. All they got to do is 10 times throughout the year, if indeed this is their strategy to add $100,000. What's that? 10 times. So that's like 2.5 deals, or maybe one deal. I don't even know. There's 12 months in a year. Jesus, help me, Lord. Do the math. Do the math, Lord. Do the math. All right. Let's say they do one property per month and they take a 2-month, 60-day hiatus somewhere in Tahiti. All right. That'll work itself out. Fair enough. Now we're at $1 million net worth. How cool. I love it. Love, love, love it. All right. So we're here and we're talking about what to do after the sale. So I just showed you guys a sample of an actual tax deed that was recorded same day in that county. Thank goodness. This is the investor that bought it. Y'all know I'm not fluffing y'all. I tell y'all the truth, right? 16th day of July, 2020, offered for sale and bought by cash to the highest bidder. And this is the investor here. Sometimes I go back and I look at the deeds and the sales results of the auction so I can make friends with new cash buyers, right? Because at the auction, you need cash buyers. So you need cash, period, to pay for your win. So, hey, you want to know where some real cash buyers are, wholesalers? You need to attend the auctions, okay? Tip number 1, can't never say I told you. Get out of them Facebook groups and stop asking people for cash buyers. That's stupid. That's not where they are. Everybody in those groups are just broke, okay? If you really want to know where people are, then you need to go to the results of the auctions and then you can find them, all right? Anyway, so tip of the day. So what are we here to talk about today? We're here to talk about what happens after you won. So the reason why it's so important for you to understand this is because even though you get ownership, right? The clerk of the circuit court conveys ownership to you. What you don't receive is clear and marketable title. Clear and marketable title. So that means you, Mr. and Miss Investor, have to have a plan or a course of action of how you're going to get clear and marketable title so that you can obtain title insurance for your property. All right. So that's what we're here to talk about right now. I got a little bit off track because I realized that this investor made $100,000 in like overnight. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's the thing. Yep, it is. Been there, done that. But it's really fun when you can add properties to your portfolio like that. But our topic of the day is what in the world is happening after you won the tax deed. So today we're on a third-party vendor website, and this company's name is Tax Title Services. I do not, and I'll be clear, have any affiliate marketing relationship with Tax Title Services. I just use their services, and I'm a pretty much advocate for them. There's other companies that do the same thing, but I kind of like them. I like working them. They're seamless. It's really easy, that kind of thing. So I work with a few attorneys in the event that I'm going to do a quiet title, which is one option for obtaining clear and marketable title for your property. Or I will do a tax title services, which is a little bit similar to a quiet title, but without the attorney and without the whole judicial process. So what do I need about a judicial process? Well, when you do a quiet title, and it sounds just exactly what it is, you're quieting all of the previous interests and encumbrances that have clouded the title of your tax deeds prior to when you actually bought it. The quiet title is actually a lawsuit. Yes, guys, it's a lawsuit. It takes place in a court of law. So that means that it is a judicial process. Normally, when you have a judicial process, what do you need? Yep, you guessed it, an attorney. That's correct. So normally when you do a quiet title, you have a real estate attorney representing you, and they're the ones that's doing all the process. They're the ones, communicating. They're at the court. They're filing all the documents. They are sending out the notifications to the previous owners. They are the ones that are representing you. All right. So they'll do all the work. And of course, you're going to pay them for their service. You're going to retain them for their service. On average, I would probably say when I pay for a quiet title, I probably pay somewhere around about $2,500. It's about that. Plus or minus, depending on the attorney. But normally it's about $2,500. Very, very cool. So factor that into your cost of doing business if you so chose to do a quiet title. So tax title services is an alternative to actually doing a quiet title. All right, let me make it a little bigger for you guys, because y'all be all acting funny with me talking about, Jackie, I can't see. All right, so tax title service is the name of the company, and they do a tax title process, which is pretty cool. So here's what they are saying on their website. So after you get your tax deed, you normally have two choices, right? You can hire an attorney to perform a quiet title action whereby the court, right, validates the tax sale. Very, very cool. That's an alternative, and it definitely is a viable option, all right? The second option, however, is to use a title certification service, which is what tax title service does. Now, it is not a judicial process, it's not done through the courts, but the reason why it's so advantageous and it's so, you should consider it is because tax title services, they have underwriters. They actually have title underwriters that is part of their process. And these title underwriters will take a look at your tax deed, take a look at the history, take a look at everything about the tax sales process, confirm that the clerk did their due diligence in their job, right, which is similar to the quiet title action, but they will provide you with a certification instead of a quiet title. And you be like, Jackie, is that legal? What does this really mean to me? Is this true? Well, yeah, it is true. And a lot of investors are doing it. So pay attention. All right. So it is very, very challenging to get title insurance, right? Especially if you don't know what you're doing. That's why I'm such an advocate for doing all of your due diligence in advance prior to attending the auction, all of that cool stuff, right? That's what I teach my students, how to make sure that when you are ready to get title insurance, you have put yourself in a position that you have the highest probability of getting title insurance. Now, and that may be important to you. That may not be important to you. I don't always get title insurance on every single property that I invest in. It just depends on what my exit strategy is. So I'm just letting you know that it's not necessarily a requirement, but I just wanted to let the cat out the bag, expose all the good, the bad, the ugly, so that you can make an informed decision, okay? All right. Can't say I never told you. All right. So what is tax title services? What are they saying? They're saying at the present, it is extremely difficult to obtain title insurance on properties obtained from defaulted tax liens. Well, okay, it may be, without a court foreclosure action. In certain jurisdictions, tax lien investors spend significant time and money pursuing judicial quiet title actions in order to obtain title insurance on tax deeded properties, where our services, investors can experience huge financial benefits by eliminating the need for the quiet title actions and the ability to obtain title insurance without any related delays. So a quiet title, maybe 90 to 120 days. And I'm telling you this by personal experience. I'm not trying to talk down, working with my attorney. I got my attorney on speed dial. I got a couple of them on speed dial, to be honest with you, just in case, along with, all the people that I work with. But there are times when I need stuff done expeditiously and they just don't meet my deadline. So tax title services really, really helps with that process because not only can they save me a few dollars, but their processing time is a lot shorter as well. It's like 45 to, 60 days. And then they have like an expedited process where they can actually get it done within 30 calendar days. So if you're one of those real estate investors and you're fixing and flipping and you're like, man, while I'm renovating my property, I want to make sure that this process is happening simultaneously where, congruently, I should say rather, and then you are obtaining your process for getting your title quieted so that you can offer title insurance to your buyer. That way you can actually offer them a sale at the highest price per market for your property, and you be all right. Fair enough? Because if you are going to offer your property to a retail buyer, and when I say retail buyer, I'm talking about a buyer that traditionally has to go and find financing from a bank and so on. Like, most banks don't want to finance any property that does not have title insurance, right? So that's the reason why most people will go and get title insurance for their property so that they can offer it, right, to satisfy the demand of the exit strategy that they're trying to do. So is quiet title a absolute? No, it isn't. I know plenty of investors that don't do it, to be honest with you, because you also have a third option that I haven't really mentioned, but I'm gonna mention it now, only because guess what? You know it. Yep, I love you. So here's the deal. So option number uno. After you have absolutely received your tax deed, you're like, whoa, this is super duper amazing. I'm rich. Okay, I'm not going to say the word, but I'm rich. All right. You're going to think about, do I want to do a quiet title? Number one, do I want to do an alternative to a quiet title by using a title certification service like tax title services, right? Do I want to do that? Or number three, do I absolutely want to do nothing? Yes, you heard me. Do nothing. Yep, it's true. So here's the deal with doing nothing. Just want you to understand it, understand what that process looks like. So if you absolutely choose to do nothing, yeah, there's some risks associated with that, but here's what has to happen. So you have to have like a certain amount of years that goes by from the date of your ownership, the date that your tax deed was conveyed to you, right? And if you absolutely do nothing in that period of time and no one contests, right? No one in the auntie, uncle, sister, brother, twice removed comes from underneath the bed somewhere with some kind of will that says, hey, my auntie, uncle, cousin, mother, twice removed, left me this property, and oh my gosh, you have it, and now they're challenging the validity of your ownership. Yep, you're good. Eventually, a regular title company is going to give you title insurance. Why? Because so much time has passed by without anyone contesting the ownership of your tax deed or the validity of the tax deed sale. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why that's a third option. Is it risky? I suppose. But hey, I just want to make sure that you understand what all of your options are. So option number one is a quiet title. Option number two, title certification. Option number three, absolutely do nothing, right? So, you know, for real estate investors that, you know, are like landlords and you plan to keep the property, you don't really plan on selling it right away. Sometimes they're not in a rush to do this process, right? Because it's an added expense and they'd rather just start the process to cash flow the property and then, you know, hope for the best, right? Eventually they'll do it sometime in the future. But my point here is these are all your options when it comes on to obtaining clear and marketable title. Now, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys fill up my DM, which is pretty cool. Thank you so much for commenting and sharing and telling people about me. Like the other day, I had a phone call from someone who told me that someone in his barbershop told him about the Jackie Jackson. I was like, no way. Am I a local celebrity? Like I'm in the barbershop? I'm barbershop talk? Dude, that is so big time. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I thought it was awesome. I'm totally flattered and appreciative of all of your support and everything that you guys do. So go ahead and get started, whether with me, somebody else, tax title services. Make sure you get educated, you guys. All right. Schedule your consultation with me. You know, do what you got to do. Make sure that you're not out there alone and that you're not investing blindly. All right. You need someone that's going to help you navigate and to make sure that you're in good hands, step by step, holding your, you know, a practical application to this process so that you can stay successful. You can make 100 grand overnight in one day. Yep. That is totally possible. Here's evidence of somebody doing it. They bought it for $23,000 and it's worth $123,000 at the auction. Dude, if you want to come up, then this is definitely an opportunity for you to learn how this is actually done. Anyway, my link to my website, link to my calendar, I think it's like thejackijackson.com/ like booking with Jackie. Look for the link someplace, click it, schedule a free consultation with me, and let me help you get started so you can figure this stuff out. All right. Love you guys. I will talk to y'all next week. All right. Jackie Jackson out. Bye.